Hello and welcome to our channel The Light Travelers. I'm back with the last part of our trip from St. Louis to Michigan. In this video, we'll see Pierce Talking Scenic Drive, Windmill Island Garden in Holland, Michigan, and Tiscornia Park in St. Joseph, Michigan. We'll also cover our stay in Grand Rapids. As you would have seen in part 3 of our video, we were in Sleeping Bear Sand Dunes. So once we exited Sleeping Bear Sand Dunes, we headed over to do the Pierce Talking Scenic Drive. And let me tell you, this was not in our plan initially, but when we purchased the tickets for Sleeping Bear Dunes, we were told about this. We were given a pamphlet. So we went to the scenic drive, and at the entrance there was a long queue of cars. Even though we didn't have to pay the entry fee again, as it was already covered in the Sleeping Dunes ticket, we still had to wait in the queue. But again, it was totally worth it because the drive was very beautiful. This forest that you see here is called the Beech Maple Forest. The loop is around 7 miles and there are 12 stops in this loop. This was the first stop, the covered bridge. Then we also went to the second stop for Glen Lake Overlook, and we stopped at a few other places, but then we headed to the stop number 9 and 10, which were my absolute favorite stops. So we parked our car and saw this narrow trail. It was a sandy trail, almost like walking on the sand dunes. It was not very hilly but a little hilly. At the end of the trail, all of a sudden it opens up to a beautiful vista of Lake Michigan. We are totally blown away. We have not seen sand dunes and lake this close by. So this overlook is at a height of 450 feet and it's totally possible to go down the dunes and go to the lake, but it's not recommended because it's very easy to run down the dunes to the lake. It will hardly take 10-15 minutes, but while climbing back up it may take over 2 to 3 hours, and the lake levels also may rise suddenly, so it's not safe. But if you do plan to go down to the lake and come back up, take at least 2-3 hours of time in your hand. I didn't have that much time, otherwise I also wanted to go down. It was so beautiful. So the Sleeping Bear Dunes overlook is also at the same stop if you walk a little further away. And the dunes were named Sleeping Bear Sand Dunes because they were shaped like that. But over time, as wind blew, it changed the shape completely and it no longer looks like a sleeping bear. So we spent some time here, took some pictures, and then drove off to Grand Rapids to our hotel for our overnight stay. So the drive to the hotel from this place was around 3 hours and we reached almost close to sunset. This is our hotel. It is Residence Inn at Grand Rapids. It's like a small apartment with almost all the facilities like a fridge, dishwasher, gas, microwave, coffee maker, everything that you may need, and a small dining table, sitting area, office area, TV in the living room and bedroom. This was also a very comfortable stay. So the last day of the trip, we woke up lazily and checked out at 10-11 am and we headed to Holland, Michigan to see the Windmill Island Gardens. Like Frankenmuth in part 2 was a German town, Holland, Michigan is a Dutch town. It's like a mini Netherlands. And this Windmill Island Garden is famous for 2 things. One is the Tulip Festival and their 250 years old windmill, which has come from Netherlands. You can also go inside and get a tour of this windmill. The Tulip Festival that happens here is the largest tulip festival in US. It has around 4.5 million tulips and over 600,000 visitors come to see it every year. It very closely resembles the world famous Tulip Festival in Netherlands. We didn't know about it before, otherwise we would have planned to come in late April or early May when this festival happens. There was a Dutch shop in the garden too, and there were these cute wooden shoes. They looked very uncomfortable, but when I tried them on, I was surprised that they were so comfortable. I never knew about them, but this is something I learned about Dutch tradition after coming here. Our final stop on the trip was Tiscornia Park in St. Joseph, Michigan. It had a lighthouse and a beach. It was a very cloudy and windy day, so it was not a good day to sit and enjoy on the beach, but still there were some people braving the cold and sitting on the bridge and fishing. They were selling their live catch also right there on the bridge. This is also a perfect stop for sunset, but since it's far away and we still had a long drive to home, we couldn't be here at sunset. and it also looks amazing in winters. So that is the end to our road trip from St. Louis to Michigan, and I hope to see you in our next video. Thank you so much for watching, and if you want to see more of our travel stories, please subscribe.